So welcome to Snetton Market. This is one of the most creative places in Nottingham. But it's not just, fashion and retail. It's things like chocolate, it's accountants, it's software companies. And we're going to use this place to kind of show you 4 habits that will instantly help you be more creative. Creativity is one of the most important habits. Like 10 million job adverts LinkedIn analysed, creativity was the #1 skill that people were looking for. But it's not just for creatives, it's for everybody. It's for accountants, it's for doctors, it's for engineers, because creativity is about how you solve problems in a fresh and innovative way. So I've spent years studying the creative process, and I've developed this really simple model called REPS. It stands for Remix, Explore, Play, and Strengthen. So what do I mean by remix? Basically, every idea is a mixture of lots of other ideas. We're constantly taking ideas, stealing them, finding new things, finding things that have already happened, mixing them with things that haven't happened. It's all about remixing. So in a way that's brilliant, because what it means is you don't need to be scared. You don't need to be thinking, oh, I've got a brand new idea. What you've got to do is be curious and get out there and just study ideas, find ideas, be constantly alive and awake to the world, kind of find things that are going on and then remix them, and then they become new ideas. And one of the things you really got to recognize is that this is not stealing. This is basically being curious, it's having critical thinking. This is basically trying to kind of like recognize that if you mix this and this and this and this, it becomes this. It's not about new ideas, it's about having fresh ideas. It's about solving problems by smashing together ideas, remixing them, stealing it from here, from there, everywhere, putting them into a new kind of perspective, and then solving a problem in a different, fresh, original way. So exploring is all about getting out there and finding new stuff, finding new ideas to steal and remix and reconnect. So it's really about like being brave and kind of going off the mainstream. If you just stay on the mainstream, you're just going to have mainstream ideas. Where if you go off on tangents in different places and you discover new things, then you're just going to find interesting stuff, and it's just going to subconsciously help you have better ideas. Like I found this place, right? I love it in Snetton Market, because basically you can just get a really good breakfast, but you can get a really great Turkish breakfast, but then you can have amazing sushi, or they do incredible kind of Malaysian food. It's like that kind of mixture. I just found it by exploring. This whole place is all about exploring. But what it does is, the more you develop your curiosity and your critical thinking, and the more that you kind of take these new places and find new things, go off the beaten track, you go broader, you go deeper, you go wider, you go more indie, you find places that like are doing new things, fresh things, then you will be inspired, and your brain automatically will begin to have better ideas. There's been loads of research about this. Like they put some rappers in an MRI machine, and they kind of like, as soon as they fed them different things, original things they hadn't heard, their creativity, the parts of their brain that are really creative, just lit up. So it's all about getting out there and finding amazing stuff. So play is fundamental to creativity, okay? We have to play with ideas. We have to be prepared to experiment and not kind of like just be too much in our conscious brains. We just got to try and do stuff, be prepared to fail, like mix things up a little bit. The problem we have sometimes is that we just try and take a very systematic process to things. But actually, play is a fundamental part of creativity. And the reason is, it's because your brain is at play. You're not in that stage where you've got the kind of logical process-driven bit. You're kind of dreaming, you're imagining, you're taking things to a new place. But it's kind of like, how do you actually play? One of the things you've got to do is you've got to feel safe. You've got to feel like, okay, it doesn't matter if I fail or if I screw this up, because something might come out of it. You can push your ideas much, much further if you play. When you're a kid, you're not conscious. You're not suddenly thinking, oh, I might fail, or this might go wrong, or this might happen. You just kind of do it, and then stuff happens. You can suddenly be on the moon, or this brick can become a house. You can do what you like. But throughout education, we get more and more scared of playing. And very soon, we're going to show you how you can use play in your everyday life. Next one is S for strengthen. So just like with anything, you want to constantly be strengthening, improving, finding the best practice, finding out who's doing this really, really well, and strengthening your creativity. And the way to do that is just to look for really brilliant ideas, look for award winners, look for people who are doing things in original, innovative ways, and just learn from them. How do they do this? Deconstruct things, pull things apart, ask for mentorship, ask for training, ask for anybody to kind of help you coach yourself so that you can improve your creativity and improve your skills. And if you do the other things, if you kind of keep on remixing and you keep on exploring and you keep on playing, you'll just find that you strengthen really naturally anyway. Okay, so we've got reps, we've got remix, we've got explore, we've got play, and we've got strengthen. Now let's use these habits. Let's show you how you can apply them every day to go and solve a really interesting problem. Let's have a think about Sneinton. Let's think about how we can promote it to the world. Take it out there so we bring more people, we help the businesses, we help independents, we help kind of like, you know, really make Nottingham feel like really buzzing and alive. So remix, what we do is we do loads of research. We go and try and find out what it is that makes this place special. We go and look at other places and how they promote themselves. We go and find the stories that are kind of existing here. Basically what we're trying to see is how do people promote other places, other cities? How do you kind of get people excited? How do you build a buzz about a location? So like I think about, say for example, Brighton, you know, where I come from originally. Like, you know, you've got the North Lane there, but things are really kind of connected. You can go wander from one area to the other. One of the difficulties here is that it's a bit cut off, so loads of people don't come down here. So then you start to think about, well, how do you point people here? How do you get signage? You know, how do you steal ways of like maybe doing things on the pavement or like things in the sky, or just kind of like making it feel like there's some kind of signposting. You can go and explore ideas about how do you tell the stories about individual traders. You can do things about how do you kind of connect the history or the geography of the place. You know, this used to be an old fruit market, old veg market, that kind of stuff. You're constantly remixing and looking for ideas that you can take and steal and make into something fresh and new. Then if you look at explore, it's really about kind of doing that, looking for ideas, but doing it in as a broad and interesting and kind of original as way as possible. So you might go and say, right, okay, well, it'd be brilliant if we made Sneinton a bit like Lisbon. You know, Lisbon's got this fantastic kind of independent kind of vibe about it. What do Lisbon do? How do they do it? Do they bring a load of people together? Do they all put money into a pot to try and promote it? Do they share each other's social media? You know, we could do that kind of stuff. We could go and explore. We could talk to different stakeholders, you know, people in the council, people in the local newspapers or like local radio stations or that kind of stuff. We could try and see if there's any money that we could use to promote things, but we'd just be constantly exploring. So much of this is about contextual research, trying to find out opportunities, ways of making connections, bringing people together, collaborating and that kind of stuff. And then once we've got all that information, we play. We begin to play with ideas. What if we had a Sneinton Day? What if we created surprise little pop-ups where Sneinton went into other different areas? What if we did something like we had, I don't know, a huge giant toasty competition, like, because they make amazing toasties over there. Or we did like, you know, a sampling thing where you could come along to every restaurant and you could just sample the kind of food that they have. You know, you're just playing with ideas. Essentially, it's that fundamental thing about creativity is like, what if? What if we did this? What if we did that? What if we did this? What if we did that? You develop ideas, some of them are good, some of them are crap, some are going to work, some are going to fail. Some people will love them, some people will hate them. But you keep on experimenting and pulling them forward. And then what you try and do is you then try and strengthen them. You're strengthening the ideas, but you're also strengthening by bringing in other people. You're getting other people to kind of say, well, actually, if we collaborate with those guys, that's going to bring us something extra. Or if we did something with that record shop over there, that would make something new. But also you're constantly strengthening your ability to kind of like develop ideas. You're kind of exercising that muscle. It's kind of why I like the name reps, because you've got to repeat it and keep on doing it. So you can see that pretty instantly by remixing, stealing ideas, exploring, going broader and deeper and wider and just finding more fascinating ideas to remix, by playing, you know, not being afraid, experimenting, mucking about, just coming up with stuff and seeing what works and trying it, and then strengthening, like honing it, developing those concepts, bringing other people in. Pretty quickly, you could start to do something in Sneinton that would tell the world about it. We could do loads of social media collaborations. We could have loads of events that really get people sparking. We could get people tasting the amazing food that you're getting in Blend or Working Man's Pizza or GB Diner. We could get people having a real buzz. We could have a Snenton Thursday or a Snenton Saturday. We could bring markets in. We could have, you know, whatever we want. We could try to have a documentary. We could get some grant funding. There are loads and loads of things that we could do that are creative, are complex problem solving, but also just have some originality, some freshness. And that's what Reps gives you. It gives you a model to help you be more creative, whatever you do.